Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the Matrix. Subscribe.
We need to come together and do one thing: stop participating. And when we do that, the game is over. When we literally say, Monday morning, we're not going to go to work. Imagine if 30 million people didn't go to work Monday. Imagine if 30 million people didn't buy gas on Monday. Imagine if 30 million people went to the bank on Monday and said, I want to withdraw all my money. They can't even give it to all 30 million because only 15% of the cash is available on hand at any given time. The rest is fake zeros and ones. That would collapse the banking system in one day. You see the power in that? You have the power. Well, we all have the power, but what's keeping us back from doing this? Fear. Oh my God, if I don't go to work, I'm going to get fired. And if they don't participate in it, and I'm the only one that doesn't show up for work, I'm going to lose out, and I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm not going to be able to make my car payment, and so forth and so on. You see the trap they have us in? They have us in this system where we're afraid to work together. Man, we're brothers. We should be, link up. Let's do this together.
Ladies and gentlemen, history happened on Valentine's Day, 2026. They released the other half of the files, and Congressman Burchett and others have said it is insanely more satanic and devastating than even what we saw previously. Just going through the files today, it's Epstein talking to Woody Allen about grinding up bones of people, eating human bodies, how great his diet is. I mean, that's what these people are into, folks. All the medical experiments that's coming out about aborting babies to harvest them, what I told you years ago they were doing, I was the first to break it. This is so massive, and they just released the list of anybody prominently mentioned by Epstein. There is no actual client list that we know of, and so it's there. And of course, there's even more documents out there in different courts and places, and Trump's battling in federal court to have that released. Democrats are trying to block it in federal court. The different grand jury testimony information was brought out. I have talked about how Trump joined the cover-up obliquely and how it's been wrong. They believe that we crashed the stock market. Trump didn't have any idea what was in there and the full extent of it. Now he sees that it fully exonerates him. He's ordered everything released. This is the pressure we put on him. This is so historic, and it shows the power of the people. But the deep state is in full panic mode. God knows they're about to stage. Will they hit the power grid with a cyber attack? Will they launch a new war? Who knows? Because they are desperate right now. They are so incredibly desperate. And I've been putting major pressure on Trump publicly and privately. I have called his advisors. I've called the White House, and I've told them, you see me on air, that I'm going to war with them if they don't release this. Why would Trump commit political suicide like this? It's totally insane. When all the evidence says he never committed any of the crimes, he was the guy that dropped the dime. I reported that 10 years ago. That happened 18 years ago on Epstein. That's now been declassified. It's been released by local police, by the feds. It's in the files. So why did he do it? Well, we know why. Pam Bondi a couple days ago in Congress said, well, we'll crash the stock market. Well, this is going to crash the whole country if we don't do this. And there's international rings doing this, okay? The rings in Europe are all part of it. They're just as big. The UK is even bigger. Keir Starmer officially covered this up and ran for 15 years as the chief magistrate, not prosecuting any pedophiles. So this goes right to the heart. That's why all these Democrats and leftists and globalists are resigning everywhere. That's why it's all these top Democrats and Leonardo DiCaprio and all these Hollywood scum that are all over it. They're all for the WEF. They're going down, folks. They tried to bluff Trump. They're not releasing it. That failed. Thank God for this. It's historic. More key reports, inside intel. I'm going to make some more phone calls right now. The special emergency podcast tonight with Fresh and Fit. I think it's live. No, it's going to air tomorrow. It's all coming up. We'll be working until late in the evening. Stay with us, and God bless you all. Follow me right here on X at Alex Jones and on Rumble at the Alex Jones Show and Infowars.com/show for the live feeds. God bless you all. I share this video to the Info Warrior, the Paul Revere's. I salute you all. We're winning the battles. We're going to win the war.
You ever ask yourself, why do the system make women give birth inside of hospitals when it's much easier for them to give birth inside of water? Maybe they don't want us to overstand something. The pain medication, the shots, the epidural, they're hiding something from us. The church say the only way you can be saved, you have to get baptized. But we already know when a woman water break, we are baptized. Water, water, water. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. You ever notice when a baby is born, they have that soft spot on the top of their head? You ever notice dolphins and whales have the same soft spot on the top of their head? Maybe this is not a soft spot, but a blowhole, because we come from water. That soft spot or blowhole is connected to our crown chakra. Ever notice that they don't really want us to be around dolphins because they have certain frequencies? Well, those frequencies will be messages to us letting us know that, hey, y'all belong in the water with us. We are both land and water, but we spend most of our time on the land. We are dying because we are not going back into the water. You ever have visions or dreams of you flying in the sky? Well, you're not flying, you're really swimming. Yes, we don't fly, we really swim. The people that control this world, they stole us from the ocean. You know how they show pirates always going inside of the ocean, stealing treasure? Well, we were the treasure that they stole. It wasn't gold, it was spirits. They lied to us and said that outer space is somewhere out there and God lived in outer space. Pay attention to the astronaut suit. Why do they need a suit to go in outer space? Lies, lies, and lies. Our real spacesuit is our Merkaba. If our Merkaba get activated, we can live in the water how we live on the land. But we don't know how to activate it no more. And they had people wanting to put on swimsuits and spacesuits when your real spacesuit is inside of your physical body. When you look at the first three letters of Merkaba, you get mer, like mermaid, merman, Merkaba. In French, the word mer means sea or ocean, the sea. It's related to water, mother energy, or feminine principles, the principles of the sea. It's a reason why our physical bodies are 75% of water and why we have a mer or a body of water surrounding our body. Your aura field is just your spacesuit or your swimsuit. They told you these are just soft spots. Not true. It's blowholes. It's a reminder that we really come from the ocean or inside of the goddess.
Hey everybody. So I have finally received like direct confirmation through the Epstein files that there are organizations that use ELF waves or extra low frequency waves and radio waves and microwave technology to neurally monitor people. Like, there is technology in existence. You want to talk about conspiracy theories? It's no longer a conspiracy. There is technology in existence today and in use today that can read your mind through long distance radio wave technology. The people that are victims to this, they're called targeted individuals, and they target children, not just adults. They can sexually stimulate your body by exploiting your nervous system, and they can do this using like the 5G radio towers. I don't know if you guys have like heard the conspiracies and stuff like that from like way back, how like 5Gs would be abused. But if you're wondering why you're not mad enough, my theory is that it's from these 5G towers that they can alter your psychological chemistry, like your nervous system's chemistry, to prevent you from getting angry, to prevent you from feeling happy. They can make you feel sad, and they can also make you feel sexually stimulated. It can come from your TV, it can come from your Wi-Fi router, your cell phone, everything. But now we have direct proof. I'm going to put the Epstein number in the caption below. But what I'm doing is I'm getting parts this Saturday, and I'm going to attempt to build like a radio that should capture and parrot the signals that people get bombarded with, because that way the courts can take us seriously. But now we have direct proof that these weapons are in use today. So thank you for listening.
There is no way this is Ghislaine Maxwell. This is the most recent photo of her released on Monday, February 9th, 2026. When you do a side-by-side comparison, the noses don't match, and either do the eyes. Looks like they've got the body double fitted with a cheap Amazon wig. When have we seen this before? Not only that, but the Friday before this picture was taken, New York Post conveniently got footage of Ghislaine Maxwell walking the yard in prison, and what do you know? They are now handing out umbrellas in jail. You know, to make sure her skin doesn't get damaged, or maybe so we don't see her face. The question now is, did she ever actually go to prison? She may have taken these photos in 2020, but the video from that same day seems to be somebody entirely different. So, what do you think? Did Ghislaine's appearance completely change in the last 6 years since she's been in prison? Or did they swap her out with a bad body double? As always, I want to hear down below.
You guys, I just found the biggest Epstein rabbit hole thus far, so sit back, get your snacks, we're going in. Now, if you go through the files, you'll see teeth or teeth cleaning come up a lot in the files, which could be code word for something else. And let's not forget, teeth is actually mentioned over 1,800 times in the files, and yes, that's a real picture of a dentist chair on the island. Now, on one hand, Ivy could be a person who works at the dental office, like it says here. Tell Ivy that it will take extra time as the girl's teeth are disgusting. But that's where it just begins, because this Ivy shows up where it says, Ivy gives you a kiss. Who is this? Which leads me to this Ivy Nash. Now, she has multiple accounts on X, but this particular account is very interesting because of who she follows. Now, she only follows 5 people, but the last 3 is Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Susan Hamlin. And you could tell it's Epstein only because the JEE gives it away, because it's the same way he uses it in his email, JEE Vacation. Now, we'll get to Susan Hamlin in a minute, but on Ivy Nash's other X account, she has this as her banner where it says, Mossad agent. She's even playing in everybody's face saying this, oh, it was a compliment to call me a Mossad agent. Now, she's responding to Elon's tweet saying, if she's a 10, you're an asset. And the Times article says, female spies are raging sex warfare to steal Silicon Valley secrets. Now, at this point, we all have to assume if you're not a victim in the Epstein files, you're an asset to the network. Now, she's dropping clues all over the place, like this one where she says, I'm approximately 47 pizza boxes tall. What? Oh, you mean like the code word pizza that we all know? And who's the 47th president of the United States? Trump. Now, here's another clue that's left in her bio where it says chirp at presents to Internet Valley Elf, which looks like nothing at first, but if you take the first letter of every word and put it all together, CAPTIVE spells captive. What is going on? Now, here's where it really gets interesting, because all accounts, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Ivy Nash, they're all following each other, but they're also all following Susan Hamlin. Who is that? Oh, you mean this Susan Hamlin, who's Epstein's assistant and could allegedly be a handler for Epstein. I mean, why would she instruct Epstein himself in this email to knock somebody off? And you could tell that it's her because the redaction was so bad by the FBI, you can literally see her name where it says from and to Jeffrey Epstein. So the question is she some type of captive asset to the network and or Jeffrey Epstein's daughter, because she does favor Anya Wick, who's allegedly Epstein's niece, who's also whistleblowing on everything, so there's that. Now, there's a whole lot more I'm breaking down on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Back at it again with some knowledge that may disturb a few and offend some others, but the facts are the facts and you cannot argue with that. Now, we touch on the out of Africa theory, and we're gonna go ahead and dive deeper into that rabbit hole, because if I know this information, you gonna know it too. So here we go. We all know that genetic splicing was a result of the Sumerian, Aryan, ancient Anunnaki, or aka Moor Tartarian race, right? Okay, and this is why in the out of Africa theory, Homo sapiens evolved from monkeys and animals, right? So this is also in a tribute to the ancient of wisdom that the fallen angels provided these different ethnicities of races, which is why all of these different races have pretty much the same culture and the same religious idealistic views. And if you don't believe me, I can cut to some interesting clips that'll connect the dots.
Meet the 12 Olympians, the most powerful gods of Greek mythology. First, Zeus, ruler of the sky, wielder of the mighty lightning bolt, and supreme ruler of Olympus. Second, Poseidon, lord of the seas, rules the oceans with his mighty trident. Third, Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare, born fully grown and armored from Zeus's head. Fourth, Ares, the god of war, who thrived in chaos, the raw fury of battle made flesh. Fifth, Apollo, god of the sun, master of prophecy, and wielder of the golden light. fire. Sixth, Hephaestus, god of the forge, master of fire and creation, whose hands craft the mightiest weapons. Seventh, Hera, goddess of marriage and family, queen of Olympus, and the wife of Zeus. Eighth,
Egyptian gods. Ra, god of the sun, the first king of the gods. Osiris, god of the afterlife and resurrection. Set, god of chaos, storms, and war. Isis, goddess of magic, healing, and motherhood. Horus, god of the sky and kingship, son of Osiris and Isis. Anubis, god of mummification and guide of the dead. Thoth, god of wisdom, writing, and the moon. Hathor, goddess of love, beauty, and joy.
Are revered in Yoruba culture and beyond, symbolizing various aspects of life and nature. Key figures include Ogun, the god of iron and war, Yemoja, the motherly goddess of rivers, and Shango, the deity of thunder and lightning.
There was Ocean, the Orisha of rivers, fertility, beauty, and divine femininity.
AKA the ancient Anunnaki, Sumerian, Tartarian, Moors.
No matter what, they're always going to tell you the truth, even if it's through other people. The Shade Frost goes on and says that he had a dream or predicted programming that Kai Cenat is clone. Remember, he looks different, he talks different, he acts different. They going deeper saying that he might be in Antarctica getting cloned. Listen to this.
Kai was a clone, bro. You had a dream Kai was a clone? Yeah, I had a dream he was a clone, and then Kai was under like a we were just talking, but like under, and I was going somewhere, he was underground, like he was locked up, like the old him was locked up, like screaming and shit. I swear to God, bro, it was hella weird. It was hella weird. Kai just texted me and said, "I'm underwater, my network is off, I'm in the ocean, I'm on the way to Antarctica. I'm underwater, my network is off, I'm in the ocean, I'm on the way to Antarctica."
They're always going to tell you the truth, whether they use another person or not. But the fact of the matter is, whenever these people are about to be cloned, a new narrative comes out. You guys see them looking brand new. Y'all think it's them. No, it's literally someone else in that body. And guys like the Shea Frost and Rakai, they're being used in order to get this message across from you guys. But something is going on in Antarctica. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
There's a lot of people who still believe that whatever files that they put out is AI because they don't want to believe what's happening right now. So you know how AI is advancing so quickly now, right? And it's up to the point where you can't even tell when something's fake or not, right? And RAM that became more and more expensive only because they need that to power the computers and stuff, the supercomputers. What if that's why they released it now? Because they had this information for years. So why do they release it now where AI is basically almost at its all-time high of it looking so crisp to the point where we can't tell? So then people could get away with saying, oh, that's just AI. Let's not worry about that.
It totally makes sense.
And even the people who released it, they're basically saying, yeah, we released it, now we could just forget about it. Let's move on to the next thing.
You know what's crazy too? It's like, since everything is connected, whatever, it was kind of like a setup.
Yeah.
Because it all started with like the dumb AI videos. You know, the stuff that the kids watch. Or like the tralalero tralala, like, you know, the Italian brain rot or whatever. Right? It started with this brain rot videos. Then it slowly started transitioning into everybody making it a trend. You can AI yourself into looking like you're a soccer player or something like that. It was slowly training us to like basically get used to AI. And then out of nowhere they started doing the hardcore shit. Like now you don't even know what's true. Like that video of a guy where he's talking, but as he's talking he's switching from The Rock, different like famous people and shit.
It triggers me because there's still a lot of people who see these files and think it's fake or they just don't want to believe it.
Oh yeah, pay attention. We went in on this one.
And I take them to Pleasure Island. They never come back as boys. like to make some real money. Well, and do we have to, No, nothing like that. You see? I'm collecting stupid little boys. Stupid little boys? You know. All right, next. And what might your name be?
Alexander.
So you can talk.
Yes, sir. I want to go home to my mama.
Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island? But the law. Suppose they... No. There's no risk.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Some schools are starting to cancel Picture Day, and the reason why has most parents asking the question that no one thought to ask in the first place. Who owns the company that's photographing my children in school? Now, it all started with Jeffrey Epstein's relationship with a man named Leon Black. This guy's a billionaire. He paid Jeffrey Epstein $150 million for financial advice, and he also owns a hedge fund. This hedge fund acquired Shutterfly. Shutterfly is a company that owns LifeTouch. LifeTouch is the company that photographed most of us growing up in school during Picture Day. Now, parents started to get worried after this started circulating online. They started reaching out to the school saying, hey, we need to cancel Picture Day because I feel uncomfortable with LifeTouch photographing my children in school. Now, some schools ended up canceling Picture Day, but Shutterfly and LifeTouch, they released a statement saying that Leon Black, he never even had access to any of the data or any of the pictures in the first place. But it's just wild, the stuff that's coming out every single day and the connections. Like, it's just the stuff that you never think about.
The men of this country have to realize that we are legitimately being ruled over by psychopathic files who are willing to lie, cheat, kill, steal, fucking everything from us for their own benefit. That has to be rejected at mass, because if it's not, civilization will crumble. Nothing will matter. If we can't stand up together as men against these horrific crimes against children and women, then who the fuck are we? And what are we? We are a bunch of weak, we're just as complicit as them. I'm not the only motherfucker out here that is unwilling to live in a country where our leaders are involved in this kind of shit.
Stop giving this any of your attention. It's an intentional emotional and spiritual energy suck, and I'm going to prove it to you. I just need to appeal to your common sense. Do you really think our government cares enough to put together the money and manpower to put together a 3 million page document? Come on, people. Second, do you know what's coming tomorrow? Well, there's a Ring of Fire eclipse coming February 17th. You know, eclipses, which are widely viewed in a spiritual sense to bring positive energy for deep inner work and clearing of stagnant energy and accelerating positive life changes. That's right, they want you emotionally distraught from the 95% of nonsense in there. Now, I'm not saying there's not truth in there, but most of it is literally angelic intelligence gobbledygook. And I already did a video on this. It's literally why they're spreading misinformation about Earth potentially losing gravity on August 12th, because there's a total solar eclipse on August 12th, and it opens up the Lionsgate portal. You know, the one that is known for amplifying spiritual growth and manifestation with high frequency and energy, and they do this all the time. They plan events to suck your emotional and spiritual energy so you don't upgrade, so you stay stuck in a low vibrational fear state. Oh, and speaking of the Lionsgate portal, which is coming this August 12th, well, in 2024, it was on August 8th. What started that day, August 8th in 2024, just one of the most positive and uplifting and high energy events of the year, the CrossFit Games, where a bunch of fit, energetic people come together and watch a bunch of other fit people compete. And you know what happened at the very beginning of that on that Lionsgate portal day? I've done a video on this, and I'm not going to go into more detail here, but let's just say if you don't realize they fake deaths for emotional response and trauma-based mind control, well, you should look up some videos on the Challenger explosion and how they found every single last one of those astronauts alive. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that every last word in the 3 million pages, gee shocker, it's 3 and 3 for those that know. Yeah, I'm sure every last word is honest, darn good researched truth and not spit out by AI, which is angelic intelligence, by the way. Entertainment only. Stay positive, upbeat, focus on the positive. Don't watch the news, don't watch their gobbledygook, and don't believe anything you see on the television, my friends. Entertainment only.
Alright, so I know the media is making Jeffrey Epstein feel like the biggest villain of all time, but the truth is, Jeffrey Epstein is just right here. He's with the "we fool you." Do you guys see that? The words all the way on the right? He's only right here, okay? What we need to be worrying about is this up here, okay? This is the real problem, but we're going to get to that. I'm going to break everything down. So, first things first, we are all on the bottom, okay? We keep this whole game working. So, if all of us people, and I need y'all to repost this, share this to everybody you know. If all of us people decide to not do anything, we don't show up to work, we don't pay taxes, this whole game crumbles. So even though we're at the bottom, understand that we keep this whole thing going, right? Above us, with the "we eat for you," that's the celebrities, the actors, the all the people who are in media, right? Okay, so they're there to make us chase the money. They put it in the movies, in the music. It's money, money, money. Chase the money, right? Because look at what's on the top. It's all about the money. So we're keeping them like afloat. So once we end this, they end it. Above them is the government, right? The police, the 3-letter organization's government. They're right there and they keep us in our place, basically. And look at it. It says, "We shoot at you." No government is here to protect you. And as you see with Jeffrey Epstein, are they stopping the big criminals above them? No, they're not. You see that, right? They're here to control us, the celebrities, the regular people. So really, everybody under the government is on the same team. Right? Okay, so now we're going to go above them. Who controls the government? Who controls the police and all the government, right? That's them. This is where Jeffrey Epstein is. You know, these are the people behind the scenes, the bankers, the presidents, the big religious leaders, the pastors that have millions of dollars. All of them are in cahoots. All of them world leaders. They all world leaders, right? All these people, they're corrupt as fuck. They're the ones that are trafficking kids, taking them to Jeffrey Epstein's island and shit like that, right? And then finally, boom, this is where you have the elite families. These are the families that are above all. These families are non-human entities, the 13 bloodlines. Now, the 13 bloodlines, right? What's above them? The money. So all of this is ran on money, but I have to break down the 13 bloodlines a little deeper because then it's going to make more sense into what we're talking about. These are really what are running the bloodlines. The 13 bloodlines, they believe they're special because they have a special blood, but the real enemy are these things. They blend in with everyday people, but in fact, they are not human. These things control the world. These beings have been amongst us since the beginning of time, but you've been programmed through the school system, which is controlled by the Rothschilds, which is these things. But hold on, look.
So hold on a second. Are we on the same wavelength as to what is about to happen with the US dollar and the global financial markets? Because this isn't like a if, but it's a when. And this has been a very long time in the making. It's not just so willy-nilly flying by the seat of their pants. This is engineered. Now, officially, there's many things that led up to this. From the 1920s up until now. Really, 2023 was when things really started ramping up. 2008, the financial crisis helped. But here's the thing. We have countries that are helping to de-dollarize world trade. So what that means is they're no longer going to be using the US dollars as the backbone currency of the world market, which someone who's not from the US is probably like, great. Like, why does the US need to be on top all the time? Maybe it should be BRICS nations and Brazil and Argentina. But the crazy part is this. The plan is that they want a new currency, right? Where there's no more cash, where it's digital. But how would they install a digital currency? How would they change the entire global economy to that of being digital if the current economy is still working? You know what I'm saying? In order to bring in the new, you have to get rid of the old. So what we're witnessing right now is the Great Reset. We're watching the US dollar plummet in its value, which is going to change the entire world's economy. This is also why silver is the highest it's ever been. This is a monthly chart. This is a monthly chart. Every single one of these candlesticks is 1 month. Look how long it willy-nillied in here. And in the last 4, it's insane what has happened. This is a rapid expansion towards a new world schmorder. You know what they're planning? Of course, if you have silver, you're stoked when you're looking at this. I can tell you all the material possessions in the world will not stop what's coming. And I'm not saying fear-mongeringly, the new digital system is going to be a shitstorm. It would be, but something bigger is going to happen, and we are going to win. Now, I will say there has never been a more important time in history to have peak mental clarity and vitality with all the psyops and whatnot that are coming around the corner. And right now, Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, which is super detoxifying, super good for your gut microbiome, and absolutely delicious. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit for brain function, hormones, and fertility, you have some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.